After playing and completing Shadow of the Erdtree, I've come to the conclusion that the DLC is just good, but not great. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, okay, slow down with all the hateful comments. I can see them flowing in now, okay? I loved the DLC, okay? I enjoyed it and I had a blast playing it. But I feel as though it had some issues and it was missing some stuff, and it was also just very repetitive. The DLC does exactly what the main game made me feel. It made me feel like I was in this beautiful and magical world. I loved exploring the new areas of this game and the new item types and all the new customization items. I think that they're very sick and they spice up the game, okay? I mean, these backhand blade weapons are so badass. They are literally my favorite in the whole DLC. They're fucking sick. A lot of people's issues with this DLC was everyone was saying, "Oh, it's too hard." Wah, wah, wah. You know, they're just crying. And now I agree. Yes, the DLC is very hard, and these people are right. You know, but the DLC is only as hard as you make it be. The DLC gives you all the resources in the world to make the game easier. There are summons, spells, scatter fragments. From Software literally wants you to use these things to make the game more enjoyable. There's a reason that they put it in the game. They are meant to be used, but people don't want to use these things because people will judge them and say they're a poopy pants gamer. Oh no, you're playing the game how it's meant to be. No way, it's crazy. I know people would get mad. There will be spoilers in this video just in case you didn't know, okay? And you know, this would be a good time for you to click off if you don't want to be spoiled. The story from the DLC is about what you would expect from a From Software game. I don't know what happened in the story for the most part because I'm an idiot and I also don't care enough to watch a very long video going over the small Easter eggs in this game that make up the lore. But hey, let me tell you what I absolutely loved. My highlight of this DLC was walking around and exploring and finding this shaman village randomly up a random hill. Slowly, once you walk into this area, the subtle music starts playing and you realize you are exploring the childhood home of America. Is that how you say it? I don't know. I really enjoyed this area of the game. It gave me the chance to sit back and look around and really just take in this beauty that this game has. I thought a lot of the bosses were very tough, but also very doable. The only boss that is just ridiculous is the final boss of the DLC, you know, Radon, but we will get to that later. Most bosses of this game feel very repetitive and they feel kind of lazy in design. I don't know if that's just me. Like for example, let's just take the Golden Hippo boss for an example. This is one of the main bosses that you need to fight to progress in the game. And this boss cannot be more boring and more lazy in its design. It just has a few move sets and it just feels very boring to play against. Not to mention there's a bunch of mini hippos walking all around the map, which makes this boss feel very repetitive when you're walking around fighting mini versions of it with the same exact moveset, and then you go and fight the main one. Now, on the other hand, there's also bosses like Relena and Mesmer, who are fucking amazing bosses, who are a blast to play against. These fights make me feel like I'm in a movie. They are very creative, and the character designs are so sick. You can just tell they put so much more effort in these types of bosses compared to others. With a lot of these boss fights, I did not want to use a mimic summon or any summon, but if I do see a duplicate boss that I already fought before, boom, you know me, I'm popping out that trusty Mimic and we are tag teaming that bitch. Mimic, oh Mimic, where do I even start? My Mimic has never let me down. He's always stuck with me through it all and he's always there when I need him. Another gripe I have with this DLC is the same exact one I had for the main game. The dragons in this DLC are so boring to fight. The dragons are all just a reskin of the same exact one you fought last before with just the same exact moveset with a different name. I think that this is just super lame because I think the dragons are sick in this game. They look amazing, but the actual fights themselves are just so boring and they just feel like a waste of time. Now, for example, Bale the Dread on the other hand, this is how a dragon boss fight should be. It was so refreshing fighting against the dragon that has a different moveset. Not only that, but it's just such a sick design. The only thing about it is when you're fighting Bell is you're actually fighting two bosses. Yes, two bosses. And the second one is the camera. My god, I just can't see shit half the time when I'm fighting this boss, when he is constantly moving and flying in the air. I even have my camera speed maxed out to 10, and still I'm not fast enough to track a Bale when he is coming. Other than that, he's an absolutely sick and fun boss fight. And now for the final fight, the Radon fight. This fight is just ridiculously hard for no reason. This first phase of the fight is not too difficult, it's bearable, but that second phase is just crazy. It's like you're fighting a fucking flashbang the entire time. The boss design is just, it's sick, and the arena and the movement is so cool. Everything about it. Playing against the boss itself is just a pain in the ass. It is extremely hard, and I think pretty much everyone agrees on that that's played the boss in this game. I think what is most annoying is that the flashes of light just come up after Radon does any move. It feels so random. It's just the most random pattern, and it feels just too much like RNG, and I hate that. This boss took me so long, probably 7 or 8 or 9 hours to beat. I don't remember, and I'm not the best at Souls games, but I also don't think I'm terrible. But this boss is just unnecessarily hard for no reason. It honestly just became so boring to me at how hard it was. I was just so overplaying the DLC at that point. I enjoyed the DLC. I didn't mind spending the 40 bucks to play because I love the base game so much. The DLC is still fun. It's a fun world of Elden Ring still, and there's a lot of stuff that I thought could have been done better. But also, what do I know? You know, I'm just an idiot playing games. I love the DLC, but I also got a little tired of the game towards the end, and that's why I think the DLC is just good, but you know, it's not great.